All right, you guys. So, Ticket TV, like, share, and subscribe as y'all tap on in. Appreciate all of y'all for joining the stream, man. Y'all let me know if y'all locked in, man. Smash that like button. Let's get this video over a couple thousand likes. So on the way in, y'all hit the like button, share the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get right into it, man. Um, we've all heard about this for a while. I saw a lot of people that was doubting this situation. A lot of people thought that this was cap. They didn't think that this was real, and they didn't think this was going down. Well, boy, were all those people wrong, because what 50 Cent just did is going to take the issue and the situation with him and Sean Diddy Combs. If it was at a 5, that shit don't go into a 10. For you guys who don't know what's going on, Diddy, everybody already knows Diddy's currently locked up and doing time in Fort Dix prison, penitentiary, federal penitentiary. Well, next month, Sean Diddy Combs, well, 50 Cent said he was going to do it, man. Motherfuckers was doubting 50. Mofos out here saying 50 wasn't going to do it. He was capping. 50 Cent been working behind the scenes and he did it. If you guys don't know what's going on, 50 Cent is dropping the scathing documentary to end Sean Combs on December the 2nd, man. The title of the documentary is Sean Combs: The Reckoning. It's a 4-part investigative docuseries that's focusing on the rise and the fall of Sean Combs. Executive produced by his longtime rival, none other than Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. It explores Diddy's transformation from a music industry disruptor to a convicted offender, blending a lot of archived footage. 50 Cent somehow got never before seen materials, and he has exclusive interviews from people within the industry going in on Diddy ass. Now, the project has been in development for nearly 2 years and was teased first by Diddy publicly back on April 2024 when people was talking shit saying that 50 wasn't going to do it. It arrives amidst Diddy's ongoing legal battles, including his July of this year's conviction on 2 counts of transportation for the purpose of prostitution, for which he is currently serving this federal sentence in Fort Dix. Netflix has signed off on it. Lord have mercy, man. Netflix has signed off on this shit, y'all. And all of the episodes will premiere on December the 2nd. That's in a couple weeks. Now, each episode is 4 episodes. It's a 4-hour documentary 50 Cent did on this nigga. Now, the trailer was released today. And the trailer featured a stark black and white visuals and the voice of former bad boy artist Mark Curry, who I've told y'all a lot about for his interviews on the Art of Dialogue here on YouTube. Or Mark Curry, he released a lot of information on Diddy. He claimed that they were spiking girls' drinks and they were doing all of these different things. And now, Mark Curry, he is also working with 50 on this project. And it says it sets a somber, introspective tone, highlighting Diddy's empire building alongside ominous undertones of scandal and accountability. Now it says the official poster depicts a contemplative figure implied to be Diddy in black and white with his hand near his face, emphasizing themes of reflection and of downfall. Now the director of this series, her name is Alexandria Stapleton. She's an Emmy Award winner known for her work on culturally resonant documentaries. The executive producer, again, is Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, who himself is an Emmy and Grammy Award winner, founder of G Unit Films and Television, which champions real storytelling. Stacy Scripter, David Carabinas, Ariel Brosel, and Brad Bernstein. The production companies, the House of Nonfiction, G Unit Films and Television, and Texas Crew Productions. The background, the series stems from 50 Cent's G Unit banner, which has produced hits like Power and BMF. 50, who has publicly feuded with Diddy for over 20 years, including trolling him on social media during his trial this year, and even submitting a letter himself to the judge expressing fear for his safety, positioned the project as a platform for survivors and insiders to share their untold stories about Diddy. Development accelerated after Cassie Ventura's November 2023 lawsuit against Diddy, which alleged abuse and helped spark broader allegations. Also, this series paints a multifaceted portrait of Diddy as a powerful, enterprising man who built a gilded empire with an underworld beneath his surface. Now, this documentary, 4-hour documentary that 50 did on Netflix, it chronicles Diddy's rise to power, his early days at Uptown Records, founding Bad Boy Entertainment in '93, and his pivotal role in mainstream and hip hop. It highlights include launching iconic artists like the Notorious B.I.G., Mary J. Blige, Jodeci, and Danity Kane, plus cultural milestones like the 1997 No Way Out tour and hits such as Hypnotized and More Money, More Problems. More problems you see. B.I.G. P.O.P.P.A. No info for the DEA federal agents. Mad because I'm flagrant. Tap myself in the phone in the basement. Empire and influence. His expansion and the fashion. Sean John, his vodka, Ciroc, and media turning Bad Boy into a billion-dollar brand and reshaping pop culture. 50 Cent also, bro, 50 Cent went in, man. Downfall and allegations, bro. The beef is cooking with him and Diddy. You know Diddy is irate about this shit. Downfall and allegations. 50 Cent has covered, they say in his documentary, the darker side of Diddy's ambitions, including they have more explosive claims against Diddy. Lord Jesus have mercy. Of abuse, coercion, and exploitation. Now, this also ties into Cassie's lawsuit, which was settled out of court, and the Me Too reckoning in hip hop featuring stories on Diddy from the 1990s on up until today. The document culminates in Diddy's 2025 trial and conviction, framing it as a stress test for cultural accountability. It says, beyond biography, it's a mirror on public idolization of celebrities, questions how society processes allegations against icons, especially for women in the industry, and whether progress has been made since the Me Too movement. Boy, 50 is crazy. Exclusive elements include 50 Cent, y'all. They say he got interviews with former Diddy associates. They said he got interviews with Diddy's childhood friends. They said he even got interviews on this documentary with Diddy's employees and Diddy's former artists who are all going in on Diddy and will share their insider perspectives on the Bad Boy inner workings. They also say that somehow 50 Cent got his hands in Netflix on never before seen materials, including party footage. 50 Cent has never before seen legal documents that will be exposed and personal recordings that will be exposed that reveal the underworld of Sean Diddy Combs' world. Let me repeat myself again. 50, in this documentary, 4 hours, apparently has never before seen materials that include party footage that the world has never seen, Somehow 50 got his hands on that. Legal documents that the world has never seen. Somehow 50 got his hands on that. And personal recordings that reveal the quote unquote underworld of Diddy's world. Somehow 50 got his hands on that. Now this says the narrative avoids sensationalism, instead emphasizing human stories and systemic issues, with Stapleton noting it was a wake-up call for how fans put guys like Diddy on a pedestal. Right? Now, 50 came out and he had issues with Diddy. 50's issues with Diddy was Diddy, I guess, was displaying funny style type of behavior that 50 described. 50 basically came out and said that Diddy tried to make a move on him and take him shopping. It's like you trying to take a grown man shopping. Like, what you doing, dog? Like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing, man? Hold on, what's going on, man? Right? That's what 50 did, right? He said that Diddy, right? Try to do that, right? Also, and that set him back because he's like, I'm a grown man, bro. What's up with this shit? Like, what you doing, dog? You know what I mean? It's what he said. Now, apparently, the beef had escalated with 50 and Diddy around 2014 over a vodka brand war, effing vodka versus Ciroc. And it resurfaced intensely in late 2023 amid multiple civil lawsuits against Diddy alleging sexual assault, physical abuse, sex trafficking, and racketeering. Importantly, 50, he never filed any formal legal allegations or lawsuits against Diddy himself. Instead, Diddy's allegations have been informal, just public commentary on the nigga, social media trolling, interviews, and amplification of others' claims through memes, posts, and now his new Netflix documentary that's coming out on December the 2nd. 50 Cent, where he has all of these people that was around Diddy coming out here banging on Diddy. 50 Cent has framed this documentary as what he calls real storytelling, to give a voice to victims. But critics note 50's history and say that he's using the feud for clout. Now, 50 repeatedly stated he's been warning about Diddy's weird shit, quote unquote, his weird shit, for over a decade, positioning himself as persistent rather than opportunistic. Now, 50 initial situation with Diddy stemmed from perceived slights and uncomfortable interactions, which he described with Diddy as early red flags against this nigga. Now, in 2000, they had some type of wedding incident alleged. Now, at Chris Lighty, RIP, his wedding in the early 2000s, Diddy allegedly offered to take 50 Cent shopping, which 50 interpreted as a man being flirtatious or emasculating, like something that's said to a woman. In a resurfaced 2016 Drink Champs podcast clip with homophobic undertones, 50 recounted feeling uneasy, saying it made him question Diddy's intentions. Now, he tied this to broader suspicions about Diddy's sexuality and behavior, calling it questionable. Now, this was before we found out that Diddy was getting man's juices squeezed on Cassie and then rubbed on his chest and his nipples. And then they allegedly was licking it up. Like I said, I don't roll like that, man. Like I said, man, I don't rock like that. That's why you ain't never hear me say, hey, man, hey, my nigga Diddy. Nah, you crazy as hell. I don't roll like that. No dice. Now, industry jabs, 50, he mocked Diddy's business moves, like his Revolt TV network, and accused him of being soft or overly image conscious. In a 2005 diss track, The Bomb, 50 implied that Diddy was involved in shady dealings, though not explicitly abusive ones. Now, these were the more personal disses than abuse claims, but 50 later retroactively linked them to Diddy's alleged patterns. Now, while Cassie, November 2023 lawsuit accused Diddy of a decade of inappropriate sexual behavior, physical violence, forced freak-offs, drug-fueled sex parties, 50 went into overdrive on social media. He didn't claim firsthand victimhood, but repeatedly shared and endorsed other people's stories, often with memes, right? Or AI-generated images of Diddy in compromising positions, or Diddy oil, baby oil bottles referencing raid evidence. Now, in December of 2023, 50 Cent posted a clip from Bad Boy artist Mark Curry, alleging that Diddy spiked champagne at parties to drug and assault women. 50 Cent captioned it as receipts, implying that he long suspected that Diddy had been doing this type of shit. Now, the freak-offs and the sex trafficking. Post-Diddy September 2024 arrest on federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges. He was convicted back in July of this year of the two prostitution, man charges, man act. 50 trolled him relentlessly, right? Online. In September 2024, 50 Cent said, I've been told y'all about this weird shit. I don't do no puffy parties. You didn't believe me, but I bet you believe me now, is what 50 said at that time. Right? And he linked it to the Netflix documentary news, which people were saying that 50, oh, you capping, it ain't never coming out. That shit come out December the 2nd. July 2025, 50 Cent, after Diddy's conviction, shared a court sketch of Diddy crying, mocking his failed speaking gig plans. Hey, whoever was booking Diddy for that speaking engagement, he put on his social media. In October 2025, 50 Cent posted a fake letter he had written to the judge, claiming he feared for his life for Diddy. Caption, what? I'm scared for my life, LOL. In November of this year, just this month, after prison photos of Diddy surfaced, 50 Cent wrote on his social media, he looked happy to me with all them handsome men around. Good morning, New York City. Referencing assault claims and Diddy's laundry job. He also accused Diddy of involvement in the unaliving of Tupac, mocked his prison behavior, like allegedly drinking homemade alcohol or forbidden calls, and vowed to block any Trump pardon for Sean Diddy Combs, citing their history. Now, in a 2024 People interview, 50 defended his commentary and said, what I've been saying for 10 years. 50 said, what I've been saying for 10 years, look, it seems like I'm doing some extremely outrageous things, but I haven't. He emphasized avoiding Diddy's parties and spotlighting systemic issues in hip-hop, right? So, again, he has ex-associates of Diddy's who are all in this documentary. He has footage that I've never seen before of parties with Diddy in them. And bro, 50 Cent says, and I quote, I'm grateful to everyone who came forward and trusted us with their stories. So apparently, a lot of people who work for Diddy, was in the industry with Diddy, who was on Bad Boy, they went to 50 Cent with their stories for this documentary. This shit gonna be crazy, man. Apparently, 50's got shit that we ain't never seen before that is coming out in this documentary. Legal papers, videos. And then I don't know, 50's got a lot of people that's come out and that's going in on Diddy on this documentary, exposing things about Diddy in this documentary. And so 50 Cent said he's grateful to everybody who came forward and trusted them, with their stories for the documentary. So a lot of people, apparently, former employees, artists, all these people have come forward to 50 Cent with their stories on Diddy for the documentary. So they did that for the documentary. I know one person who was approached about the documentary. I won't say their names, but I do know one person that definitely was approached about that documentary who was tied to Diddy for a while. I won't say their names, but I'm going to wait and see if they're on the documentary. I know a couple other people I think that's on the documentary that it's going to be bad, man. I'm just going to be honest with y'all, man. It's like, I'm going to tell y'all something. It seemed like 50, it's like he went into the same mode as the documentary. Remember that documentary that got R. Kelly fucked over? Everybody remember that documentary? What was the name of that documentary? Was it Surviving R. Kelly? That documentary, in my opinion, set it off on R. Kelly. I think that documentary ended R. Kelly. When the whole world paused to watch that documentary, and they were watching all the parts, I think that kind of made that was the end of R. Kelly, that documentary. And so, when all those people came out with all their stories and stuff like that, there was no way that R. Kelly it was no way he could survive that. It seems like this is that, you know what I'm saying? Type of situation, you know? I think there is going to be a big surprise on the documentary. I haven't spoken to this person, but I got an idea that this person may, I think this person may blow the roof off. And I think he knows who he is. I think I know another person who's big time in this situation that is going to be in that. Listen, Diddy's going to have a lot of people he's upset with. But I'm telling y'all something. I think the beef with 50 and Diddy is going to a 10. If it was at a 5 before, I think it's going to a 10 with this documentary. Because remember, Diddy's trying to get out of prison. And remember, 50's got never before seen footage. He's got never before heard people. He's got all this other stuff that he's got in his documentary that comes out on December the 2nd. Now, this comes amidst the things that Diddy said about him wanting to get a pardon. 50 said he was going to block that pardon. You have to ask yourself a question. Does 50's documentary, first of all, it's going to go viral because it's on Netflix. That shit going to go viral. It's on Netflix. Everybody got Netflix. That shit going to go viral. So if Trump sees the documentary too, and now after the documentary, he gets so much pressure, he can't even think about if he was going to think about touching Diddy. That will crush. And you never know if that could bring forth more charges. Because remember, there's a certain situation where Diddy is under investigation right now in California where the LA Sheriff Department is currently investigating Diddy for another crime he may be charged with sexual misconduct allegations, where the man said that Diddy put his penis in his mouth down his throat. The man Jonathan Hay came out and said that Sean Diddy Combs forced his beefcake in his mouth, and he said that he could still taste Sean Diddy Combs, you know what. And so he was on CNN the other day, and that's how I know that was real, because that was all over all the major news stations. I was like, damn, bro, that shit get ready to come real. So my thing is 50 Cent setting this off for a round 2 as far as the documentary, because remember, that could bring forth new charges too, because that documentary, I'm telling y'all something, that R. Kelly documentary, it made so many people upset. Look how they went after R. Kelly after that documentary came out, Surviving R. Kelly. Everybody was waiting on the next part of Surviving R. Kelly. To me, out of anything that happened, Surviving R. Kelly destroyed R. Kelly. It set off a whole new anger against R. Kelly worldwide. I've never seen so many people mad at a person before, how they felt about R. Kelly after that documentary. 50 Cent doing this documentary on Netflix and then having never before seen footage and having people who are tied in and work with Diddy, close to Diddy, childhood friends of Diddy coming out here speaking against Diddy. I mean, bro, like I said before, man. And if you know one thing about 50, he ain't gonna back down. He not gonna. That nigga ain't gonna back down. That's one thing you know about 50. He ain't gonna back down. That nigga ain't. I mean, like I said before, you seen it. You seen it. You know, he seemed like he lived for these type of situations, the beef. You know, and 50 has done a great job in television. He has done a great job in music and things like that. And so I think that this gonna turn. But you can't underestimate. To me, you can't underestimate Diddy because you know Diddy. He. You know, I think that's a big problem when people underestimate Diddy. You know, but I don't think 50 Cent worried about. I don't think he worried about nothing. I think 50. He let me say this. To get this documentary off on Netflix, don't y'all know all the shit they had to clear? Because think about this. Netflix doing this documentary even after 50 turned around and sued the other people for doing the documentary. Diddy sued the other company for like $100 million. He sued them other people, I think, for doing that documentary they did, right? So Netflix and 50, they had to be so brave, and that all the people, they had to have so much credibility in what they felt like, and all the people who came forward in this documentary against Diddy, that they ain't worried about if Diddy gonna try and challenge this shit. I'm telling y'all this, man. Because remember, this is after Diddy don't sue those other people for making that documentary, and Diddy said that those claims were false, and those people went up there and made those claims. So to have Netflix back it, like this ain't no little penny ante. Nah, he got that shit on Netflix. That's the part right there that made me think, man, this shit finna get real ugly, bro. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. This shit finna get real ugly in New York. You know, between Diddy and 50, this finna, to me, this thing finna turn up to a whole nother level because, like I said before, man. Like I said before, man, this documentary could bring more charges towards Diddy because from what they're reporting, there is new, never been seen before people and allegations coming against Diddy in this documentary. So if that's the case, that could turn, uh, the feds onto Diddy on other charges. And I already told y'all, he already got another case right now that he's potentially looking at in Cali. To me, it's gonna be funny how all the, especially that one dude from New York who never met Diddy, who be doing all those videos, like he do 100 videos on Diddy, and the nigga be doing pull-ups and sit-ups and shit like that, and you know he be doing all this motherfucking capping and shit. It's gonna be. I just want to see how they gonna defend all the new allegations. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, you can only call people liars for so long. You know what I mean? You can only call people liars for so long. And so I think this thing goes, I think it gets ugly, y'all. I'm just gonna be honest. If I'm just being honest with y'all, I think this shit get ugly between Diddy and 50. I think this goes to a whole nother stratosphere between these two guys. After this, well, I think it's going there now. I think Diddy is irate, probably finding out that they're gonna drop this on Netflix. Because once again, remember, Diddy is all about his perception too and his image. Diddy went to court and beat charges, right? So to have to go through the ringer again, remember, if 50 would have put this out before the verdict, it wouldn't have hit as hard. Now that 50's coming out after the verdict, after shit don't settle down, when this man's in prison trying to get out, and now you rehash, it's like a wound that was starting to heal up and it's starting to scab up, and 50 just come and rip the scab off and dig into it. That's what it's like. Because now all you're going to do is bring out all those emotions from people again who don't have no respect for Diddy. And then if you got new allegations coming against this dude, all that's gonna do is enrage people even more, and it's gonna make all these people who say everybody lying on Diddy look like goddamn fools. Because this ain't no Tom, Dick, and Harry. You got dudes like 50 Cent that's in the industry backing this shit up. You got rappers, people who are in the industry backing this shit up against this dude. And think about this. You ain't heard no other nigga in the music industry come out talking about 50 a rat, he a snitch, he a snake because of this shit. Ain't none of them niggas in the rap game came out standing on 50 about this documentary. Everybody quiet. Everybody quiet. I just got a feeling, man. This documentary, man, I got a feeling, bro, this shit gonna hit like that shit in the 80s. I got a feeling, man. I got a bad feeling, man, because they said he got never before seen footage, legal documents, and all kind of shit. What did 50 dig up, man? What did 50 dig up? And y'all know 50 petty. Go back and look how 50 dealt with his other beefs. 50 don't win, got niggas baby mamas and all kind of shit. That nigga petty, bro. So again, you know, again, bro, we'll have to see who New York side with. You know what I'm saying? Will New York side with 50 or will they side with Diddy? Matter of fact, I'm asking everybody that's from New York. Y'all tell me in the comment section, who y'all siding with in this? Y'all siding with Diddy or y'all siding with 50? I want to know that in the comment section. 50 going for blood. If 50 doing this shit like this, he trying to end this nigga. Think about this, y'all. 50 is he's trying to get Diddy up out of here with this documentary. I'm talking about, like, he's trying to make sure this nigga can't even come out and even think about trying to get a comeback. Maybe this nigga fuck around getting new charges and shit. And people might say this, that, maybe it's more personal. Maybe 50 and them privy to more information than a lot of us. We're gonna find out though. You know what I mean? We definitely gonna find out, man. But for 50 to get that shit through Netflix and they putting this out on December the 2nd, what's today, y'all? Today's the 25th. That shit coming out in 1 week. This shit coming out in 1 week. I'll be damned. 1 week. 4 hour. This nigga 50 did 4 hours. God, dog. And so, you know, Diddy had to have his lawyers all over this shit, y'all. It must not have been strong enough to stop it. What 50 had going on with Netflix, man, because you know Diddy had to have his lawyers on this shit. We'll see, man. We'll see. But I already know it ain't going to be pretty because they saying that Mark Curry's on this. And they're saying that if Mark Curry, let me say this again. If Mark Curry is on here, and he is, because remember, we all understand Art of Dialogue, he's on YouTube. Art of Dialogue is a legend in his own time, right? I always tell Art that he's a legend in his own time, man. And y'all seeing the growth of Art of Dialogue, right? Just from the content Art of Dialogue's putting out, he legendary in my opinion, right? But if you went back and you listened to what Mark Curry said on the Art of Dialogue about Diddy, and you listen to all the things he said just in 1 hour, man, what the fuck y'all think gonna be on this documentary? That shit finna be disgusting, bro. That shit fitting to be disgusting. And for you guys who don't remember, I'm gonna give you guys a short memory of some of the things that he said about Diddy. And I'm talking about Mark Curry. And Mark Curry's in the documentary. Now remember, the Art of Dialogue, he did the interview, and this little part right here, the interview, it did like 1 million something. Like I think 1.5 million, the interview with Mark Curry. But Netflix? That shit gonna do like 20, 30 million. That shit gonna touch everybody. So imagine what's gonna happen when Mark Curry say this on Netflix. Get to the VIP, all of these girls come around the VIP.
I want to get your opinion. You know,
What they used to do in the studio and all of that over different entertainers' houses and stuff.
lawsuit, Cassie, she claims that her and Diddy had freak-off sessions where they would get a male.
You talking about the freak-off sessions where they used to do in the studio and all of that over different entertainers' houses and stuff? Where they be having them parties where they won't invite you to? And they be like, we having a party tonight, but this ain't your kind of party. You be like, yeah, I ain't going. I don't want to go. Freak-off parties, when you go in there, to be, yo, let me tell you something. We used to go in the club. We go into the nightclub, right? And we go and get to the VIP. All of these girls come around the VIP, and they just be standing there. And like, let me tell you something, man. I'm going to get back with you. We got to rewind this back. We used to go to when we go to the club, we used to have these bottles, right? And on this bottle, they be regular Moet bottles. On them bottles right there, they've been had something to make the girls be real slippery and all of this kind of stuff. So when you get up, they be like, don't touch them bottles right there and only drink them bottles right there. So we already knew what the drill was. You just don't mess with them bottles, right? Then all of the girls is in the club after a while. They all running, opening up their mouth like little birds. They just run around just popping pills in their mouth. Pop, pill. And then that was the party. But all of the females that was in it, that's what they wanted. That was what party. It was part of the hip hop culture. We ain't see nothing wrong with it until Bill Cosby got in trouble. He did one too many. Man, look. Let me tell you something. I don't mean to cut you. This funny. I used to, you know, we used to be on the road. You know, you'd be like, yo, let me go with my Puff room, see what they doing. And you knock on Puff door, he'd be sitting there damn near butt naked. You ever just had a grown-ass man answer his hotel door butt naked, and they'd be like, come on in? You be like, I'll come back. You ever close your eyes, you be like, I guess you're not presentable. And then walk away, because see, what happens is, if they be like, come on in, and then you come on in, they be like, this man just came into my room, I'm sitting there butt-ass naked, I told him to come on in, and he came on in. You be like, so what's going on for the day? Acting like you don't notice he there naked. You be like, bro, put some clothes on. What are you doing? I don't want to see you naked. Grown man stuff. Yo, that's kind of disrespectful. So when you get, that's called the test off. How you make sure you breaking in. Yo, call the artist up here to the room, tell him I want to have a meeting by my tub. He be in there by the tub and stuff, soaking and stuff. Butt ass naked. You be like, how the hell I'm supposed to have a meeting with a nigga butt naked in the tub? Nah, man, come back, man. Let me know when you presentable. That, and then freak off parties, man, listen. I'm not an angel. I ain't never did nothing morally incorrect, but I definitely not. The girls definitely have my share of pretty women and being famous. It just came with the life. But also what came with it was a lesson. Also, what came with it was, you know what, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and still expect to find somebody to truly love you. That right there, those kind of parties kept me from finding somebody who really cared about me. And it took me to leave those kind of parties, those kind of people, all that energy alone, just to even better understand me. That's what I did. That's where I've been. That's why I totally vanished from everything and said, you know, I'm going to be a better man, a stronger man. And that's what I recommended that he do. I'd be like, bro, it's time for you to be a stronger, a bigger person. But he still wanted to remain minute. And that's what's happening to him today. Shit.
Yeah, that's wild, man. Him opening up the door naked, man. That's weird behavior.
Yeah. Anytime a man's naked around you and they feel comfortable with being naked around you, you know what I'm saying? You be like, something ain't right, man. What do you know what I mean? You know I knocked on the door. You knew it was another dude at the door. Like when I knocked, you know what I'm saying? Then you can just go open the door, come on in. Walking with his butt out. You know, I just closed the door. I'll see you later, bro. I guess y'all not ready for the day. And that's why I be like, you got these niggas that be on YouTube championing Diddy. I'm like, is y'all niggas crazy? Are y'all not hearing this shit? Are y'all not hearing this stuff? And then niggas just walk around, hey, yeah, man, my guy Diddy, man. These niggas out there damn mind. You couldn't catch me dead with some of these niggas talking the way they talk. I said, man, ain't no motherfucking way, man. This man don't came out here and told y'all. This man don't came out here and told y'all that this man come to the door with his butt out. Nigga be in the room soaking in the tub, butt ass naked, talking about bring the artist in. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Why Mark Curry gotta lie? That's all I want to know. What do we have to lie about? Now, remember, he said that on Art of Dialogue. Art of Dialogue's channel is geared towards hip-hop, black folks, hip-hop world. Netflix, everybody watching that shit. Imagine Mark Curry saying that on Netflix, on 50 Special. That shit gonna be on worldwide news. That's why I played that for y'all. Right? That's why I played that for y'all. That shit gonna be on worldwide news. I'm telling y'all all this. When you put that shit on Netflix, that's it. We ain't nothing else to talk about. There's nothing else to talk about. Because now, every major news station is gonna report on that. Every major news station. Right? Shout out to the brother Melvin and the Cash App coming through. What a $300 donation. Salute to you, my brother. I appreciate it, man. And he says, 50 the only rapper willing to stand. Yeah, hey man, that's what it seemed like. It seemed like 50 the only rapper that's willing to stand up against Diddy like that. But you know, some people gonna call it, because see, it depends on how you looking at it. If you looking at Diddy in a light where he's like if people are accusing Diddy of predatory behavior and being that, people gonna look at it differently from the normal. But if you looking at it from like, if this is a street situation, that would be a completely different situation. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people gonna look at it different because they gonna say, hey man, well, you know, women and people allegedly violated like that. That's you know, that's a whole different situation, is what people gonna say.
Work hard on this being here means that much to me because you know I
right. So that's what they gonna feel, right?
I default. Yeah, that verse you had on Bad Boys for Life was dope. Plenty more, so that's nothing. Ways with him. All of that's happening right now because he's tarnishing his own image. What I think is just what I call is a character assassination that's going on right now. So it's just another form to silence a man, to humble a person. You know how sometimes you gotta humble somebody. You're right. Yeah, I think he's being humbled right now, which it took a long time. It takes a long time to humble an arrogant person. So Diddy, he's an arrogant guy. Very arrogant, selfish. All of those kind of things that you don't like. You don't never see in a true friend or a grown man. You know what I mean? Like, you're a grown man. You carry yourself like a grown man. He doesn't carry himself like a friend. You know. So you're not surprised when you hear Cassie say that. You know.
I want to say this, and shout out to B Will 46 with the donation. Salute to you. I want to say this, y'all. That's the problem I be having with these people on YouTube. It be motherfuckers that never met Diddy be out here crashing out for this nigga. You got people who work with him, who was with him all the time. They ain't got nothing but something bad to say about this dude. It be the people that ain't even been around Diddy that be out here capping for this nigga. You're like, hold on, dog. How much time you spend around Diddy? Oh, well, you know, I'm just holding down for the brother. Nah. All these niggas that was spending time around that nigga, they ain't got nothing good to say about the man. The man literally had 0 artists go to court and support him. The only one that went was crazy ass Kanye West. Think about it.
Diddy, he used to hit her and she had to cover up her bruises with makeup.
And these niggas ain't never been around Diddy. The nigga from New York who walk around with the oversized suits. They ain't never been around Diddy, but then they come on YouTube every day talking about who lying and this and the third. But these niggas who really been around Diddy, Mark Curry was signed to Bad Boy. He was with him all the time, almost damn near every day. The fuck he got to lie for, nigga?
You're not surprised when you hear that. Because I interviewed Gene Deal, and he wasn't around Bad Boy when Cassie was around. But he told me that, he did the same thing to Kim Porter. Or you could take it before then, and then you can remember when Misa was dating, Eric Sermon from EPMD? And that was her childhood boyfriend, like, coming up. They was the, lovey-dovey couple. And it was back then. He used to, do that with Misa. So, one thing I always say is, as a man, and as anyone in a relationship, we often go through these kind of things. So I've seen it in friends. I've seen it in him. I've seen fights. I've seen all kinds. I've seen fights when he have an argument, fight with a female, whatever it may be. I've seen it with my own friends. But sometimes you say, we all go through things, but once you have a sign of doing it over and over and over again, that's when it becomes a problem. You be like, so every relationship that you get in, you're violent in them? So you say, I don't have to wait to see what he would, I was around when Cassie was there. I knew Kim Porter before I knew Puff. I met Misa, but, it was a history. When you have a history of the same thing, man, it becomes a problem. Something you do once or twice, you get over. First, you're not supposed to put your hands on a woman's way I was raised. And the only person that really put their hands on women really is men who have feminine traits. So, it really takes a coward to put his hands on a woman. So, a man is so strong enough, we can just walk away. You can do, there's so many different things that you can do other than get upset, put your hands on a woman. But that comes from a man who's not quite a grown man. It's still a boy, like a bad boy. Speaking of Kim Porter, because you knew Kim Porter, is it true that Diddy broke her nose? Bust her nose, man.
That's fucked up, man. That's why I don't respect no nigga. Like, I don't respect no niggas, bro. Like, niggas sat right here and told y'all, nigga, bust their nose and shit. I don't fucking respect no niggas, man. I don't give a fuck who it nigga. Like, Mark Curry put that shit dead on the button. When you a man, you automatically stronger than her. So you can do things physically to her, right? Especially like when you in a position of power, like real power, bro, you can walk away. You can tell her to leave, and you can have another chick tomorrow. I really want y'all to think about this. That's the part I hate, like, about dudes who have a lot of like power and shit like that, and then still use it to abuse women and shit like that. I hate that shit. Like, nigga, you got so much power, nigga, you ain't even got to allegedly be doing this shit to people. You could just walk away and go ahead and get you another one. It's so many women that just be willing to give it up without you even having to do, like, you know what I'm saying? Because of your status. Right? I'm just saying, man. It was all, insecurities. Anytime a man would go out his way to wiretap someone's phone or put taps in their homes just to monitor their conversations, that's a sign of insanity. So when you see someone doing that, you can imagine everything else they do. What do you think he's going to do if he found her on the phone talking to someone and feels that she's cheating on him or somebody sleeping with his girl? What you think he's going to say? Ooh, I caught you. Ooh, I heard this. Nah, he's going to come in with it's going to be a fight. But that's something that you've seen from the inside. When you're on the inside looking out, it's like looking at Blueface and his girlfriend always arguing on TV, they toxic relationship. So when you're on the inside looking out, you don't really see them like fighting. You just be like, they tripping. This is their relationship. It's been going on like that with them for years. So usually when you notice Puff was in those kind of violent relationships with his females, this been going on ever since
from 3 years. This ain't just something that just happened. This ain't the first fight. It ain't the last fight. You know? Yeah, I know the star. I seen a lot. I seen him walking with scratches and bruises on his face. And you be like, who scratched you up, dog? Who scratched you? What, you had a fight with a cat? What's going on? You know? So he put his hands on females, put his hands on producers, executives. That's just his. I guess that's what the whole name Bad Boy comes from. That people don't really understand. What is it? What is a bad boy? Why did he choose that name? Like he never really gave a clear definition of how he feels about that name. Not yet.
That's crazy work, man. Right? That's crazy, man. Like I said before, man. You know what I'm saying? I just can't respect that shit off the whistle, my nigga. I can't respect no nigga like that. Like, you got that type of shit on your docket, nigga, where you beating up on women and shit like that. I don't fucking respect that. You know? It's just it's a different field, nigga. You know what I'm saying? If you a dude that's out here and you beating up dudes in the street, that's something different. You know, but like I said before, man, I mean, I just don't rock like that, man. I was just raised different. I'm cut from a different cloth. I don't accept shit like that. That don't get me off. That don't make me feel powerful because I can beat up some chick, allegedly. It's not even alleged. He did it. We saw it on tape. And that's the crazy part. We saw that shit on tape. That nigga denied all that shit until the tape came out. Then you seen that video right there where he apologized. And then all these other niggas running around here on YouTube talking about something. Man, why they trying to come down on Diddy? It make me think, what type time is these niggas on? And don't y'all think I'm playing, because it'd be the same way the other way around. Because it was another dude that y'all celebrate that say he like to, grab him by the PUSSY. Y'all ain't had no problem with that. But y'all all mad at Diddy too. Do not think I'm not gonna go talk about that. Cause it ain't no cap in my rap around this mofo. Don't think we not gonna get to that. We definitely gonna get to that. Cause as I told y'all, it ain't no cap in this rap. You ain't gotta believe me. I'm gonna leave y'all like this. I'm gonna leave you like this. And y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. And like I said, some of y'all would defend anything.
I moved on her. She was down in Palm Beach. I moved on her, and I failed. I'll admit it. Whoa. I did try and she was married.
Hold on, I don't even want that one. I want the real one. I want the real one. Because I want y'all to hear this type of shit. And people picking and choosing around here. People picking and choosing around here. They picking and choosing. Picking and choosing, dog.
With host Billy Bush to record a segment about Trump appearing on a soap opera. This is just months after marrying his current wife, Melania. The audio we're about to play for you was recorded just before this moment when they meet up with their soap star.
Geez, your girl's hot as in the purple.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa.
I gotta use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. I don't either way. Hey, when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Whatever you want. Grab them by the I can do anything.
Hey, I really appreciate you guys for supporting the channel, supporting the network. Like, share, and subscribe. Once again, there are links. Get the free membership on our website. That way you guys won't miss any of our news update stories or videos. They're all on the website, ticketvmedia.com. You go over there. You can go right to the members part and become a free member. That way you guys will get all the updates. Also, straight drought weight loss formula. Make sure y'all go tap in and copy some of that, as well as subscribing to our podcast show. Link will be pinned at the top of the chat down there below. And also, we just appreciate all y'all who support the channel. Cash App, PayPal.